Yes. Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
Sulla cosa.
Il vicepresidente vuole dire due parole che conosceva, quindi no? Tria, introduci tu e poi dopo Allora, buongiorno a tutti. Ringraziamo il signor Ministro di aver accettato l'invito a partecipare a questo evento che abbiamo organizzato insieme all'AIIB. Adesso il Ministro farà il suo intervento e dopo il suo intervento ci sarà la possibilità per i giornalisti in sala di fare delle domande. So I will introduce Minister Tria, who will deliver his speech in English. There should be the translation service here in the room.
Dear Vice President, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm particularly pleased to address you on the occasion of this meeting organized by the Ministry of Economy and Finance to bring Italian companies and institutions together with the AIIB, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. I'm glad to see so many people taking part, a further proof of the widespread interest in this newly established multilateral bank. As you know, our ministry is not only an important shareholder in an initiative to which it has enthusiastically subscribed since its foundation, together with its main European partners, but it's also a strong advocate of the role that this bank plays in supporting development in Asia. We also strongly believe in the opportunities that the AIIB can generate for Italian companies and financial intermediaries. Multilateral banks finance projects that the private sector alone cannot support, often because the risk profile of such operations exceeds the typically acceptable parameters. These institutions create interesting opportunities for the private sector and make a real contribution to stimulating economic growth in the region in which they operate by helping to reduce risks. Multilateral banks also help to introduce high standards of transparency and adhere to the principles shared by the international community in terms of procurement, as well as respect for the environment and social needs. All this represents an additional pillar to support sustainable and equitable growth. As shareholders, we are pleased with the AIIB's commitment in this area, as well a commitment that can be clearly seen from strategic documents such as those being discussed today. This is the third time we have hosted the banks in 3 years, and we have always done so in a different format. This year, as you have seen, the focus has been operational, and we have tried to prioritize the need for companies to explore where and in which sectors they can find the greatest potential for developing their business. We believe that the AIIB can be a reliable multilateral partner working alongside the Asian Development Bank, the other major multilateral bank operating in Asia, with innovative and complementary strategic and operational features. The focus of today's meeting is the need to establish and possibly intensify a direct dialogue with the bank's senior officials. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the bank and its vice president for attending with such a distinguished delegation. I'm particularly pleased that one of our fellow countrymen, Mr. Ottolini, introduced this morning the topic of procurement and its potential. The financing... C'era Ottolini. Yes.
He's here.
Yeah. Where is? I tried to look where he was now, etc. The financing of projects in the infrastructure sector, especially when focused on cross-border connectivity and improvement of overall living conditions in the large Asian megalopolis, is vital to ensure solid and long-term growth in Asia. These are the topics covered in today's meeting. I'm sure you have already been able to seize the opportunity and benefit from further developing a dialogue with the bank. The strategy that underpins the bank's action can reasonably be expected to have positive spillover effects even in non-borrowing countries, especially thanks to the progressive development of trade corridors, market integration, and improvement not only of freight transport but also of energy transport. In fact, robust growth in Asia can provide development opportunities for European companies, which always played a part in the development of new technologies and can contribute to the activity of the bank with their ability to offer high product quality, as well as with the financial resources already allocated and implicit testimony of trust represented by the acquisition of the bank shares. The Italian government is also a shareholder, and that capacity, it has expectations that go beyond the approval and disbursement of loans. I'm strongly convinced of the usefulness of these meeting opportunities, and I mean to extend again our hospitality for such initiatives in the future. I conclude by thanking all participants, the bank's representatives, companies, and also the representatives of the institutions that are present here for being here today, and by wishing you all a good, fruitful conference. Thanks.
Thank you. I think that Vice President Danny Alexander wants to make some conclusive remarks at the end of this morning session.
Thank you very much indeed, and thank you, Minister. and the Ministry of Finance for hosting this event. But more particularly, thank you for the very major commitment that Italy has made to the AIIB and the very major contribution that Italy has made to the establishment and the development of the bank. Italy was one of the 57 founding member countries of the AIIB, and it's been very active in the development of our policies and governance in the first period. And as you said, it's a long-term commitment to building an institution that can serve its members in a way that is supporting their sustainable economic development over many years and indeed many decades to come. This event, in the lead up also to the bank's annual meeting, which will take place in Luxembourg in July, is extremely valuable to us because we hope that it will help to build understanding among Italian companies and others of the role and purpose of the AIIB, that we can deepen relationships with Italian companies, and that can help us in time to develop also business opportunities, projects and others that we can work together on in developing infrastructure projects within the Asia region, which is the purpose of the bank. As you said, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank is a multilateral financial institution, part of the rules-based international system, with the purpose of investing in infrastructure projects to support the sustainable economic development of Asia. We are operating to very high international standards, both in terms of the governance of the bank and in terms of the standards that we apply to the projects that we develop, very consistent with the European approach that you described. As you know, China first proposed the establishment of the AIIB, but the bank is a multilateral institution answerable to all of our 93 now member countries. So in that sense, this is an Italian bank as much as it is a bank of any other country. And so it's very valuable to be here from that point of view. We're trying to develop an institution with a business model that is lean, clean, and green. This is our core approach, to be efficient in the way that you described, but also to meet high standards, to ensure that the projects are delivered well, and to show the commitment to sustainability that is appropriate in an institution that came into existence just a few weeks after the Paris Agreement was signed and supporting sustainable infrastructure. Our major priorities relate to connectivity, supporting projects that can connect our member countries closer together and connect regions more closely together also. To sustainable infrastructure, which helps countries in their transitions related to climate change. And I think your last point was very important, to mobilizing private sector capital to ensure greater private investment in infrastructure in the region. So the AIIB is a new bank. We are still developing the institution. So today's event is an enormously valuable opportunity for us to engage with Italy and the government, and particularly with Italian companies, to get involved in developing projects and building relationships. We can help the AIIB to grow and thrive in the years to come, and particularly with the annual meeting coming up in Luxembourg in July. We look forward to continuing this engagement, not only with you and your colleagues and with the Italian businesses here, but more broadly to deepening the relationship between the AIIB and our European member countries for the good of the institution for many, many years. So thank you very much again on behalf of the bank for hosting this event. We appreciate very much the deep commitment of Italy to the development of the AIIB and look forward very much to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Grazie per l'intervento del ministro Tria e grazie per quello del signor Danny Alexander. Apriamo adesso la conferenza stampa. Vi prego di presentarvi quando ponete la domanda. Ci sono domande? Prego.
Sì, buongiorno. Io sono Domenico Conti, sono un giornalista dell'agenzia ANSA. Ministro, lei è appena tornato dagli incontri a Washington del Fondo Monetario. Forse questa può essere un'occasione per avere da lei qualche indicazione sui colloqui che ci sono stati a Washington, in particolare per quanto riguarda certi episodi di tensione sul fatto che l'Italia ha sottoscritto il memorandum di intesa con la Cina. È fiducioso che ci saranno dei colloqui molto, insomma, amichevoli e che queste tensioni verranno superate al G7 in Francia e al G20 che ci sarà in Giappone? Per quanto riguarda i nostri partner, in particolare chiaramente gli Stati Uniti, che hanno sollevato alcune obiezioni quando era successo, quando era stato firmato il protocollo. Grazie.
In questi colloqui non ci sono stati mai tensioni di questo tipo. Ci sono state riunioni del G7 e del G20, ovviamente non si è parlato di questo, si è parlato della situazione internazionale, dell'allentamento dell'economia, delle politiche da coordinare a livello internazionale, della loro coerenza sui temi sul tappeto. Queste tensioni non ci sono state, anche i miei incontri bilaterali sia con il segretario di Stato Muncin sia con gli altri ministri, compreso il ministro delle finanze cinesi. D'altra parte del G20 è compresa anche la Cina, quindi non rispondo alla domanda, ma la logica della domanda non la comprendo. Grazie.
Ci sono altre domande? Non vedo domande. A questo punto direi chiudiamo, no? Ok, chiudiamo la conferenza stampa. Grazie a tutti. Buon
Conferenza stampa.
Thank you.